So very likely now, with the win, BlossoM will have map pick because Miracle will take first ban. They took first ban last time, so it stands to reason they will do that again. Yep, so we're going into the BlossoM map pick, which is going to be Cursed Hollow. A very bold pick against Miracle. It's always historically been their best map.
And sometimes even banned against Miracle. Even, I believe, Mighty and a few other teams have banned it when they were facing Miracle, because Miracle is a known team to have one of the best rotation on this map. But BlossoM actually choosing this map is a little surprising for me at the same time. Well, let's see what kind of globals they focus. Oftentimes they have the Haka, sometimes even Zarya, having Leoric. BlossoM does come up with some surprising picks.
Oh, certainly. I think that Falstad could be a trick pick coming up from Miracle as well. That's something that Sniper, when he played DPS, would show us from time to time. And that would be a cool way to try to shift the scale of how the map will be played away from solo laners and towards globals. But let's go into this draft. First ban for Miracle, of course. Last game, they tossed Morales out immediately. I cannot imagine this will be any different. Okay. Wow, I'm a
and
prophet.
guess what? Ariel ban.
I would guess so. I'll bet some big money on it. You don't ban the Ariel here, you are playing with fire. The Miracle is never as successful with the Ariel comps as teams like L5 or their sister team Black were. BlossoM, one of the more famous Ariel teams, obviously with their Cho'Gall picks. It's hovered now, will likely be locked in. Question is, will Miracle try to make Genji work again? Because last game it certainly did not. With Uther removed, they didn't have anything to empower the Dragon Blades. The Dragon Blade's always very cautious, never really getting the full damage they would have liked to. I would prefer something like a Greymane here, to be honest, given his clear potential on this map.
First pick?
Yeah, even first picking it could be done. It will be the Genji again, though. Doesn't have to be a first pick Greymane, but I just would prefer it over the Genji in terms of carry DPS. I think it's a thing of the past. Miracle is living in an old meta right now. Still clinging to the OP heroes, the Genji, the Malthael, these flashy plays that won games and boosted Genji up to now 88 games of play in Phase 2, but no longer are the times where he needs to be first banned, first picked. We're not living in that meta anymore, and I feel that if Miracle continues to cling to this, they will find themselves unhappy with the results.
Yep, I think if they are trying to keep the same strategy from Game 1, this is a better map to actually pull it off. When they have a global, of course, with Brightwing. May actually go with the Q build this time before it was the teleport build. But what does BlossoM have against the Genji?
Vala, long time no see, with the Abathur. So this is the kind of unusual play we were talking about that could come out from BlossoM. Due to once considered to be top 3 Vala in Korea, and many would extend that to the world, but that was a long time ago. But it's his most famous hero, even though he's certainly not the best Vala in Korea anymore. So an old callback pick. With the Abathur, though, it's odd. It does make you worry if you're Miracle that they will try to bring a hyper carry solo laner like an Illidan into the table, because Abathur pairs so well with him. You know, your solo laner on this map doesn't always have to be a DPS, but if you have Illidan and he takes the hunt, you kind of have 2 globals in a sense. So Brightwing gets picked early.
Along with the Haka, because they know that BlossoM uses lots of the Haka on this map, they will take it for themselves instead. Double globals in their hand.
That's
interesting. Miracle was a team that was usually out macroed, but they want to focus and they want to out macro BlossoM this time.
In the team fights with Illidan, Brightwing is incredibly strong as well. Polymorph could just simply shut him down because he won't be able to get his lifesteal, won't be able to get his cooldown reduction. He's just, a crab, a horse, or whatever else Brightwing turns you into. The ETC ban leads me to believe they won't pick Illidan, though, otherwise they would have banned Arthas. Malthael is taken away. So, options ticking down for BlossoM right now in terms of solo laners. I would love to see Wiz's Thrall. That's my dream, but I don't think that is what we are going to see tonight.
I think they can keep the same. Just even with Vala, they can just have Sonya diving in, which is a pretty decent counter against the double support. We saw it working, the spear landing on any target did tons of damage.
Well, Sonya can do quite a bit of damage. She's kind of, in terms of bruisers in the top lane, she's kind of like halfway between a tank and a DPS. So can be really flexible. Does work well with the Abathur. So does Vala, obviously. But you normally think of Abathur on this map pairing with a melee assassin. So options available. Leoric is still up there. Don't think he'll be the one you want to take against this comp, though, that has escapes for the Entomb. It's going to be the Sonya. Good prediction. Lucio coming in as well. So powerful on this map because you need to rotate to the Tribute quickly. His speed boost will get you there very fast. And obviously all the sound barrier stuff you've been talking about all season.
Which a lot of Cream players think it's better than Sanctification. We mentioned it over and over again. They are against double globals though. So they do need a rotation, even picking up Tyrael, because they want to go diving in. Kerosene can also do damage along, as well as supporting their teammates. What is this last pick going to be? Are they just going to have? Okay.
This was bad last game. Available this time, and it's an anti-dive hero. When as soon as they realized, as soon as it was shown, the second it was shown that they were not going to have any DPS but the Genji, they were like, oh, okay, I'll just toss him. This is going to be a very difficult early game for Miracle. They have no real pressure they could put on. They could try to do some polymorph ganks. Did not work well for them last game against the safe playstyle from BlossoM. BlossoM has a well-rounded composition, a strong solo lane matchup, has Lucio for rotations. The only thing they're missing is boss control with the Tyrael. That's something that Miracle can try to do, is to contest bosses. So they're going to have to do it post-10. It's going to be a difficult match for them, but we're going to go into it right now. Game number 2 on Cursed Hollow. In blue, BlossoM, Wiz on Sonya, Gondar on Garrosh, Mora on Lucio, Dudu on Vala, and No Chat on Abathur.
And in red, MVP Miracle, Judy on Dehaka, Dami on Genji, Jaehyun on Brightwing, C-Moving on Kerosene, and Sniper on Tyrael.
Well, on a loud motorbike. So.
Another Q build coming out from Vala.
Yes.
She's not the only source of damage here.
She's not, and also, you know, this is a pseudo double support. We talk about how Abathur provides a lot of support, but he's the same way. He's a support the same way Tyrael is a support in a lot of ways you can think. But you're also dealing with a dive, so like the arrow is always strongest when it hits one target. Imagine the situation that will occur many times in this game where Dami dashes through. He's the only target the arrow is going to hit. You also have situations where when he dashes through, Gondar tosses him somewhere, so he's even further guaranteed to be the only target. So Q is going to gain so much in those moments.
Garrosh and Dehaka did get a slight nerf. I wouldn't even call it a nerf onto Dehaka, but Garrosh did, and especially into the fray, becoming now 40 seconds instead of 30, so it'll be harder to actually initiate the fight if he wants to throw his teammate or save them that may be on cooldown for extra 10 seconds now in this patch.
Yeah, definitely not the main reason why he's picked in Korea, but it can affect this game, certainly. There could be some moments where we'll have to remember where it looks like, oh man, why didn't he toss his teammate? Probably was on cooldown. Certainly very important. Interesting to note that the split here for BlossoM is of a 1-1-2. The Abathur staying in mid, so Gondar is getting most of the Abathur hats right now in mid to fight Brightwing in that odd matchup. And down here, they're having a tough time because it's 2v3, but they're not really missing any experience. They're not even really taking damage on these cannon towers. They're just trying to bide their time because BlossoM knows the early game is their advantage, and they know in terms of tribute collection and team fighting, they're going to have the edge there. So they are willing to kind of lose this bot lane a little bit to split and make sure they maintain experience.
We'll see. Sonya is already starting that on the other side. And also Vala can also catch that macro because she went with the Q build. So BlossoM has, I think, will have a faster rotation with the camp. Even against the global, I think that's exactly why they want to start their camp as soon as possible.
Notice the timing of this is really cool. When Sonya goes to do the camp, they leave Abathur mid, so he soaks. After the lane was pushed, he gets the free soak on the other side of the tower, body soak. You can obviously soak with his symbiote as well. Gondar rotates up, so they lose no experience, even though they only have Sonya to clear the camp. Took her longer to do so. You can see Miracle got their camp cleared a lot faster, but her timing kind of works out a lot better. And now it's a lucky spawn for BlossoM. Miracle does have Dahaka, so he can deal with this, as you see now, and then rotate in using his global.
But Sonya actually goes on top. Seems like they just want to delay as long as possible and try to push this one out onto the top lane, because they will likely lose the late game rotations because of so many globals available for Miracle. So they want to make this snowball happen and push as far as possible on the top, with Sonya being right now.
Okay, no support here for Dudu. This was an overextension. Very good punish by Miracle. Cannot be doing that when you don't have burst heal supports. You were too far up, Vala. In this case, Dudu will die for it. And this is a great position for Miracle now. Looks like they're going to wait a little bit longer before they actually commit to channeling this one, despite being 2v3. Looks like they want to try to get a pick out of this potentially. Aldrin's does not hit. He will come around here. The boop too late.
Just for a second, even Brightwing had to I believe, use the teleport to go up to Dahaka so Dahaka could defend the camp along with Sonya pushing in to the fort.
By the way, what I want to point something out really quick. Notice what we just saw from Mora, just the constant harass and looping to interrupt the hearts. That's what sets a great Lucio player aside from a good Lucio player. You might think you always just want to be standing next to your teammates to heal, but no, you want to be harassing non-stop. You want to be poking, you want to be dismounting. Those are the things that make Lucio great.
Yeah, that's also why a lot of the Korean players take wall ride instead of the other talents.
Yes.
And basically Korea always take wall ride at 1 because they want to harass and stop the tributes happening, also provide an escape for yourself. Not only Korea, but most of the time here.
Okay, teleport coming through. Dudu again is the target. Polly comes in. Is there enough healing here with just the Lucio? The answer is no. Not enough healing. And despite what could have been a great early game for BlossoM, Dudu is not respecting the dive on the side of Miracle, respecting the polymorphs, and the burst damage is going to come out from Akarazine with Iron Fists. And so, 2 for 2 he's picked, and when he's picked, the fight is over. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If he's dead, the fight is done.
Even with a double support, even if they had a double support, I don't think Vala would have survived because of her own positioning.
I completely agree.
Those 2 deaths were just punished because Dudu's positioning was way too in front alone.
Yeah, Miracle punishing twice now. Starting to become a bit of a worrying trend, you could say. I mean,
yeah.
Now the curse point is against him by 2 positional mistakes. And Miracle's comp only gets stronger post-10, whereas BlossoM, sure, it gets stronger too, but not in the same ways. This is supposed to be the toughest part of the game before the Dragon Blade, before Sanctification. This is supposed to be the toughest part for Miracle, and because they're winning it so hard, they're in such a great position. 10 will be up for BlossoM in just a moment. Should have it before the tribute. They check boss, actually, oddly enough. Are they going to try to steal the boss? This is a risky move. With the tribute location here, they cannot do it. They just have to set up for the better tribute fight, at least try to make that happen. Look at what Brightwing is doing bot.
Yeah, Abathur is bot soaking, so it's not the worst thing because the tribute is up on top. Now they want to punish one of the members. Of course, you don't want to throw a Tyrael to your team.
Scary, scary things when you're up against double global like this. Both lanes being pushed super hard. Abathur can sure get the soak, but not going to save anybody here. This cannon tower is going to go down. Okay, we're going to see a commitment to 7-sided, in fact.
too many targets and does not get a kill onto
Judgment!
Used on to do the bust first down.
Does he live? No!
And the Dragon Blade takes him out.
All right, that was a max range Dragon Blade as well, but the toss comes through. Crazy Moving does heal through it. They're going to get the kill onto Genji, but
Dami overextended
yeah,
that one.
It's a really great kill on the Dragon Blade. I think if they left then, that would have been perfect. Good setup for boss, but they got a little bit greedy. Don't think they can boss now. Just don't have enough damage. The commitment to Judgment is interesting. We saw this in the tiebreaker match that you cast with Rally, and see if this continues to be a trend. We saw a lot of Judgment used on Lucio specifically, actually, on that Sky Temple game. And that was, of course, by Tempest. See if they can continue to get picks with this, because the third death in this game is Dudu. 3 times he's died in every team fight. The focusing of Miracle is correct, and the execution has been crisp.
Seems like we'll see a lot more death coming out. I mean, you can be the taunting player from the team and actually draw the enemy inside if that's planned. I don't think that's a strategy that BlossoM's having right now. It's just bad positioning coming out from Dudu all the time.
Well, look at his positioning now. He's too scared to even stand near that. He's just going to try to kite back and take out these minions to get the experience.
Because he felt that Judgment on his face.
Yeah, he certainly did.
But they do not have the Dragon Blade for another 15 seconds, so
they just want to delay until they have it. I think we're going to watch a very similar fight.
That's
Judy is pushing too.
Yes, exactly. They have the Haka. And also if they want Brightwing to push another lane, they can do that too. But this needs something to stay here.
Here's the Lucio commitment. No way out of this one. Perfect coordination. And yet again, the fight, it's a struggle here for BlossoM. We do see No Chat clone the Sonya. The real Sonya's already dead. Good control here from Dudu. His positioning was much better, but it turns out at least one member is going to be out of position, it seems like, for BlossoM. Basically, the team wipe. That's going to be Curse and Boss for Miracle. In fact, could be Curse double Boss, depending on how they want to do it.
Really hurting the team, and that was the right choice. Perfect target onto Lucio. Cannot. If you're focused on as a Lucio, you have no time to use that sound barrier. Seems like he pressed it because it actually went on cooldown for 9 seconds.
He was in midair, just like in Overwatch. If you Dragon Blade a Lucio who's midair in Overwatch who's trying to cast that sound barrier, it will not cast, and that is no different here.
You only hear the sound, and nothing pops out of it.
Then you hear the sound of Lucio's death. And the sound of your angry teammates. Why didn't you sound barrier? So, well coordinated dives from Miracle. They have the follow-up CC from Polymorph. Uh-oh. Okay, we'll get away there. That was scary. Didn't know if he had dash. False alarm, everybody's
that's a scary thing, except for Dehaka. I guess Dehaka also have his kind of own dash with the trait from the bush. Miracle, every single members of Miracle has a dash potential with the teleport, Genji, Karazim, Tyrael. So when you have the entire team diving in with a poly, that has to be a kill. And when you don't have cleanse, you will be punished. And even Sonya, even Garrosh will be killed if everything is committed like that.
Yeah. You get the double boss, like I said. What are you gonna do here, man? Let's not forget that when they get 16 in just a second, their boss control gets even better with Holy Ground. It would have been incredible if they had Sank, but I cannot say they should have taken Sank with how well the Judgments have actually turned into picks for this team. So, God, I mean, we live in a world now where Sonya is meta again, Judgment is meta. What a way.
Wing, I think it's coming into the meta a lot more, and will be in BlizzCon, I believe.
We shall see. Well, Boss is going to wreck this keep wall. No 2 ways about it. Judgment committed to Mora again. Dragon Blade! Will he get the sound barrier? He gets it!
Nice sound barrier, but is that going to be enough? The Dragon Blade is way too strong. That's already 2 kills going for Miracle.
7-sided as well. No chat. Clone wears off. Everybody but Dudu is dead. He's the last one. And not only is this a keep, but it could be a core with that snap decision from Sniper, who's listed as tank player today. His most successful tank has always been the Tyrael. The Tyrael he flexed on for a year now, going as far as back as Season 3 of Super League. He brings the pick out again, locks in the Judgment, and Miracle will tie up the series 1-1. what a fantastic night of games this may turn out to be.
I think we will actually see more and more judgment coming, especially when we do not have any Regar or any supports with the cleanse, because a lot more cleanse are getting removed from the support. Lucio is a great tool, but this is a good punishment when they do not have anything like cleanse or something that they can remove the CC with. Of course, the taunt bought them a good enough time to have the sound barrier at the last moment, but I feel like it was way too late and their HP was very, very low already.
Yeah, it certainly was. I really like the execution from Miracle. It was crisp. When I saw the comp, I thought they were just going to run Sank and they were going to try to protect the Genji, and I was like, well, this can work. It's very strong, good boss control and things like that. But due to bad positioning pre-judgment twice, I think led to the snowball to allow this to happen in the first place. Those 2 deaths were, I mean, they're kind of unforgivable, right? And then once judgment was there, it was like, what are you even supposed to do? On ball, I got to get him. I got to shoot him, but then if I get close, he kills me. Oh, no. It's been a pretty rough game. We'll see if the drafts continue to be this interesting, guys, as we take a short break. We'll be back in just a few with the remainder of this first playoff series.